What's up, friends? Are you one of those people who wants to buy a home, but you're kind of in that really weird spot where maybe your credit's just not strong enough, or you just haven't saved enough, or maybe a combination of the two? Well, then this video is for you, because in this video, I'm going to share with you 4 tools that I think can help you get on the right track to buying a home in 2022. But before we dive into any of that, just a little bit of house cleaning. I'm Chris Nelson with Genstone Realty, the team lead of the Nelson Home Group, and this channel is all about real estate tips, advice, and tech. So if any of that excites you, you're in the right place. But do me a favor, drop me a comment, hit that thumbs up, consider subscribing, and mash that bell so you're notified my future content. Now, as I mentioned, if you're in that position or you're just trying to get to a point where you qualify to buy a home, then these things will probably help you. Or maybe you have a friend who could benefit from having a few additional tools in their tool belt. And these aren't things that usually are going to be presented to you because, well, again, these are tools, not necessarily advice. So now that we live in this real digital age, a lot of this stuff that I'm going to share with you is, well, it's digital. Things you can literally have right on your phone or kind of do without you even having to put forth much effort. So the first tool that I'm going to encourage for you to have literally is some type of an app to monitor your credit. And there's tons of them out there. Probably the most well-known is Credit Karma, Credit Wise, and one of my own personal favorites, an app called Mint. Now, one thing I want to point out is that a majority of these apps run off of some type of an algorithm. As a matter of fact, if you look at Credit Karma and you go all the way down and look at some of their disclaimers, you'll see that they actually use what's referred to as a Vantage score. So these scores are not necessarily accurate, nor are they what a lender would see if they were to pull your credit, but they're pretty accurate based off of your current scenario. So if you have a ton of debt or a ton of late payments, Credit Karma is going to notice that, as well as the other apps. And as you improve your credit over time, you're going to be able to monitor that. So first thing you want to do is find some type of app that you like, download it, start using it, and you can use some for free. I mentioned Mint. Mint does have both a paid and free subscription. All right, the next thing you're going to want to do or download or add to your phone, whatever the terminology is some type of digital expense tracker. Okay, now sometimes if you're using just one debit card or one credit card, it's easy to monitor your expenses because you're going to be able to log into your app or you're going to be able to see them on your statement. But I want you to go a step further and find something that's going to really break it down for you a little bit more. What I want you to start doing is identifying how much money you're spending in entertainment, food, coffee, all of these little things, because you'll quickly identify where you're spending in excess, and you can start to scale some of those things back. It also will help you identify ways, well, like I said, that you can save when you start to realize that, well, I'm getting coffee 5 times a week. Maybe I get it 3 times a week. Or maybe I'm going out too often, and instead of going out to these type of restaurants or to these type of clubs, I'm going to go to somewhere where it's a little bit less expensive. So literally seeing it in front of you and maybe even setting some type of budgets within those apps will definitely help you. And a few apps, the first one that comes to mind is QuickBooks. It's one of the biggest apps out there, but it also comes at some type of an expense. But you can also consider other apps such as digital spending tracker, and I mentioned Mint before. Again, Mint is one of my favorite apps because it does kind of incorporate all of these moving mechanics like credit and expense tracking. Now, these last 2 are my favorite because I think these are ones that are really going to help you the most at the end of the day. And the next one is a micro savings account, something similar to Acorns, which is probably the biggest and most well known out there. And again, some of your banks also offer a service similar to this. But what a micro savings account does is it allows for you to take the change from your purchase. Now, you will need to link your credit cards and your debit cards to this type of account. But every time you make a purchase, let's say you buy something for $1.50, well, that 50 cents becomes a micro savings and it rolls over into some type of an account. Now, I like Acorns for different reasons. A lot of it has to do with the interest and a few other things, but there's other accounts or other options out there. And a few of them that I've been introduced to are Stash, Betterment, and I think there's one that's it's called Capital, but it's spelled with a Q. And again, there's plenty other ones out there, but make sure you're finding one that's legitimate and link them to your account, because over, I think in a 12-month span, I saved about $3,000 just in rollover fees from using my cards. Now, again, I use my cards for everything, and I have tons of different credit cards and debit cards, but every time I swiped, there was something from that purchase going into this savings account. And the last one, believe it or not, is content. Continue to learn, always be learning. The more you learn in this industry or any other is really going to put you in a better position at the end of the day. And there's many other things that I could have discussed in this video, but again, content is going to answer a lot of those questions for you. So yes, you want to know how to vet a realtor. You want to know how to vet a lender, or what type of loans you may want to apply for. What type of loans may qualify for some. These are all things that you can find out just by investing some time and continue to watch content, such as mine. As a matter of fact, again, to remind you, if you haven't already subscribed, please do so, mash that bell, all the good stuff, so that I can continue to present you with valuable information such as this. So hopefully these four tips will help you stay on track. That's what I meant to say, and help you get to home ownership a little bit faster. And if you have a tip or something that I overlooked, or maybe you've used one of these and you found it to be beneficial, again, do me a favor, let me know below. And with all of that said, my friends, there's also a buyer's packet. So if you're thinking about buying, this buyer's packet is tailored towards my area, the Philadelphia, Montgomery County area here in Pennsylvania. There's a link for you to download that below, and we will continue to improve that. Where was I going with that? Tune in next week. Tune in next week. That's what I meant to say. Tune in next week for the very next Just the Tip with Chris. Until then, take care.